大家好，我是镜子。那今天呢，我们来玩一款新游戏。那它这个是2020年出的游戏哦。然后它在出之前我就已经盯上它，结果到现在我才来玩它，有点久啊。那它好像是在写什么死后世界的那个故事啊，所以然后是解谜类型的游戏，这个我很肯定的，就是肯定的。那现在我们看新游戏。居然是这种感觉的哦。
Well, here I am again, Morris Lupton, off for my morning walk. This must be the finest stretch of beach on the finest island the whole world over. For a little speck of land in the North Atlantic, it sure is a good un. Oh, I see those yoga folks up at the lighthouse are up bright and early, saluting the sun and all that. I always thought that looked like fun. Ah, but this walk isn't the same without Sparky. She did love chasing that tennis ball. Oh, Sparky, I miss you, girl. The crater's definitely been smoking more than usual lately. That's funny, that, for a dormant volcano. Shelmerston used to be a quiet place. You'd only come here if you like fishing or bird watching. But since the new ferry service started, we get loads of tourists. Ah, but what you gonna do? It's always changing. Yep, Shelmerston's a smashing place. I'm lucky to call it home. Ah, the bench. Yeah, this is, well, it's my bench. Yeah, the museum paid for it because I was the curator there. Yeah, and they did that to remember me because, oh yes, I am dead. It's been some adjustment, but not all bad. Yeah, I should probably go and check on the museum, actually.
「蒙个毛线」，然后我发现好像还是会卡，那我还是调到最低好了。这是什么？
Yeah, I've been collecting the stories of Shelmerston for years now, here in my museum. There are so many stories, and wonderful ones. The museum started off small, but just grew and grew. It's shut at the moment, of course. Not sure what's going to happen with it now that I'm no longer doing it. I do like coming back here, though. Gives me a bit of purpose, which I've really missed since, you know, becoming dead.
哦，看一下有什么东西可以关。看关了之后会不会比较顺？哦！突然移动这么快，我的妈呀！会卡。还是我调这样子，这样会比较好吗？
Oh, one thing that's been keeping me amused. Since I've been dead, I found I can do some new things.
你那个 A 等于 B 哦，我说真的，我看了，我觉得我的脑子会宕机耶，我都不知道哎。进去 说真的不太高，因为太多感觉会看得我脑袋会宕机啊，脑袋会宕机啊。这重点是什么？比较喜欢这种就是有画面的解谜游戏。它那个太多数字、太多英文字母，我觉得我看了我脑袋会宕机，好像不太适合我耶。你确定吗？长按切入。什么意思
Pretty weird. Yeah, I'm not sure what use it is, but it's been keeping me quite entertained.
什么意思？啊！不是，我要走出去。啊哈哈！我不会出去怎么办？有什么必定开？一看就知道不是这个啊！啊妈咪呀，怎么推出去？
But the novelty's worn off.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's been, well, I don't know how long exactly, but an awful long time since I've had anyone to talk to. Well, anyone who talked back, anyway.
同时代文物。就说这个所谓的带入的意义是什么？说可爱会有谁光阿小？同时代钱币。没有东西。我不知道他那个所谓的带入意思是什么。能全部点一点看看的。那我还有点一头雾水。奇异果，你是不是坏？你是不是坏掉了？嗯？上面有动物哦。聊，拿出我的小板子，严重怀疑这个有关系。严重怀疑这个是什么提示？拿错笔。看一下哦，螃蟹，然后鹿，什么东西不是 UFO， 马，这什么木偶，蟹，诶，不对啊，不就一个轮回而已吗？突然发现只是一个轮回而已耶。这也有那个。莫里斯，旺旺。
No, I couldn't. That sounds like Sparky. Is that you?
哦，他叫我找到一个东西啦，找到一个像是明带的东西吗？我不能往前点，我只能左右而已。闪亮的骨灰。啊，你好长哦。
Morris, come with me. I need to show you something.
摩斯密码吗？
It's Sparky.
Morris, you worked it out.
You can talk?
Well, I could always talk. You just couldn't understand me.
And you can hear me?
Well, sure. You are talking, aren't you?
Oh, Sparky!
What is it, Morris?
It's been so long. I thought I'd had my last conversation. Oh, I'm so very glad.
I'm glad too, Morris. I've been waiting for you. We need to go...
Oh, wait. Are you really my Sparky? My Sparky girl?
Mostly. The best bits. But listen, I don't know how long before the volcano erupts, but it's not long now.
The volcano? Erupting? But it's dormant.
No. It has been dormant because of the custodian. But the custodian is weakening and we don't know how much longer they can hold on.
The custodian? What are you talking about?
Shelmerston is volcanic. It's supposed to erupt every once in a while. The only reason it hasn't is the custodian, keeping the island calm.
Wait, custodian keeping the island calm?
Take your time, Morris. Dogs are better at understanding this kind of stuff than you.
The custodian
被嘴了。
is a ghost.
Yes! Now you're getting it. The custodian is a ghost who appeases the island, keeps it safe to live on. But the current custodian has been doing the job a long time and really needs to retire.
Oh, and the island needs a new custodian.
That's right. It's up to us to find a new one. There are 5 prospects that I know of. 5 ghosts still hanging around the island who haven't gone into the west yet. We need to find them and see if they'll take the job.
What if none of the prospects wants it?
If the current custodian fades away and there's nobody to commune with the island's spirit,
啊，
well...
那梦碎了，他不萌，
Well,
那
that
是
would
密
be
室吗？
bad.
好，
How,
拜拜。
Sparky?
Volcano bad. You've seen how it's smoking. We don't have long now.
Well, could I be the custodian?
Oh, I wish. But Ghost Code 342B dictates that the custodian must be a ghost who has been dead on this island for at least 1,000 days. And we don't have that long.
Ghost Code 342B. Yeah, well, I suppose that makes as much sense as anything else.
Right, let's get going, Morris. Our first prospect is Peter Noach.
Oh, yeah, from the yoga center. Yeah, he died a few years ago, didn't he? Yeah, I remember his funeral on the lighthouse.
Yes, that's the fella. He always had those funny green treats. Let's go pay him a visit.
等，不是啊，我要看那个对话。哎呦，不是他不是说要死上1000年吗？我看错了吗？还是1000天？还是1000天？是1000年还是1000天？差很多哎。雅普贾灯塔。
Wow,
Yeah.
flying. Oh, this feels nice.
What? Oh, right. Oh, you kind of forget about it after a while.
I always was impressed with this yoga center. Pete seemed like a chap who went through some tough times, and creating this place really seemed to help him.
Yep, and it's still going strong. They're always busy with folks from the mainland.
Yoga center run by a robot. How things change. Well, it seems to be working out, though. So, now Pete's a ghost, so how do we find him?
Well, remember that clue I sent you from inside my urn? The tag?
Yeah?
Right. So that was something special to me while I was alive that helped me channel my ghost. A kind of memento. So we need to channel the ghost of Peter Noach. And to do that, we need to find his mementos.
And how are we going to do that?
By looking into the memories of those who loved him best. People with memories of Pete will have little thought bubbles coming out of their heads. Those are a sign you'll be able to dive into that person's memory.
I suppose that's hardly the strangest thing I've heard today.
Oh,
这
Morris,
已经不是
just you
我听到
wait.
最怪异的事情
Now,
了。
to recap. Find people who are close to Peter. View their memories. track down the mementos, and then leave the rest to me.
So people, then memories, then mementos, then Pete. Yeah, think I get the idea. Okay, let's go.
Let's go. 皮特诺亚，1956到2013。皮特抵达谢尔莫斯顿，接手管理灯塔管理员。他独居多年，很少到镇上去，总是沉默寡言。之后，在机器人伊恩的协助下，灯塔开放，成为了瑜伽练习场。家事，这个有吧？
I just got divorced and really wanted to go on a golfing holiday, but my best mate Tammy somehow talked me into doing a yoga retreat instead.
大小哦，书。
Yoga made me feel weird and uncomfortable. After the first day, I'd basically given up. I thought Pete was a bit angry with me. It was hard to tell.
Oh.
Exploring the lighthouse, I came across Pete's set of clubs. Bingo, I thought. I wondered where I could practice my drive.
可恶！原本以为他是直接只要拉到最底下就可以了，看来不是，想偷懒不行。这是什么东西啊？看不出来嘞。哦，高尔夫球。
I took the clubs up to the observation deck and spent all afternoon perfecting my stroke. The sun was shining. It was the best time I'd had all week. Suddenly, I was aware of Pete watching me. My heart sank and I braced myself for a telling off. How wrong I was. Pete cracked a smile and joined in. Every evening for the rest of that week, we were up on that observation deck, driving balls into the sea. Best holiday in years. I even got into yoga by the end.
那条线到底哪个才是正确的？应该不是这样，左边有点崩解了。不对。有了，这样是更下面一点。
I guess old Pete had a light side after all.
这是什么？大卫布拉辛顿的工具包看起来有点好笑。怎么这么多杯子蛋糕？好哦，就这样。OK， 这个下一个是这个吗？西蒙尼·安斯利，皮特死后，西蒙尼不确定他是否要回到谢尔莫斯顿的瑜伽中心，但是他不想让那些在那里认识的朋友们失望。他们常常来半个学期。当他回到中心时，他发现古老的魔法并未消失。
Pete was hard to read, you know? Strong, silent type. But you could tell he loved his collection of Buddhas. He said they were like fat little soldiers that kept him safe. To be honest, I thought that was a bit odd. But he was a great teacher. Pete was very protective about his collection. Hated people messing with them, even telling off Em when she was dusting them. One of the Buddhas went missing. Pete was distraught. Not much affected him, so it was a shock for everyone to see how upset he was. All of us at the retreat spent the whole afternoon searching, but we never found it. To cheer him up, Em bought Pete a little toy robot. You could tell Pete was delighted.
我在这个资讯里面就只是一个小机器人。有可能是那个机器人，对不对？有可能是那个机器人这样讲。哎呦，那个里面有东西吗 ？Not you。 有人说那是谢尔莫斯顿地位灯塔管理员罗宾·佛斯失踪已久的颅骨，有人说那是万圣节剩下的装饰品，居然是头骨、粮食。我想我应该还没有要来找东西，我还要再去找回忆。 居然有人在睡觉！哎，他们会动哦！有！哦，这个是那个机器人吧 ？EM ID 是什么东西？
When Pete arrived at the lighthouse, he needed help running it, but refused all offers. Eventually, fearing the possibility of a shipwreck, Trinity House sent me to Shelmerston to help keep things running smoothly.
啊，不对吗？哦，有啦，吓我一跳。
I bought Pete a plant as a welcome present.
不啊，名字的这他的游戏名字就是 I'm Dead 哦，怪我咯。
want to say anything else. He seemed distracted, like gravity was pressing down on him harder than other people. Whenever I would enter a room, Pete would mutter some excuse to leave. I didn't have a single conversation with anyone in months. Eventually, Pete noticed the plant. Then, Pete noticed me. That was the start of what became this plant room. We spent hours in here over the years, sowing seeds and tending our plants together.
Wow. Robots got complicated, didn't they? Yeah, I didn't realize how important Em was to Pete. I suppose everyone needs a friend. Huh, Sparky?
Sparky 没有回应他，可怜呐。哎，有这个有。瑜伽训练者，男的。
I met Pete for the first time on a yoga retreat in Goa. He was the best yoga teacher, but very reserved. I noticed he had some army tattoos. I wanted to ask about them, but he would never talk about himself. When I got home, I looked him up. I couldn't believe it.
纹身。
He'd been with Special Forces in Helmand and was awarded a medal for bravery. Pete's unit had been in an ambush. He tried to save a colleague whose leg had been blown off, but by the time they'd reached base, it was too late. Pete was the only survivor.
那么他的那个字幕你们看得清楚吗？如果不清楚的话，我可以可以复述一下。因为好像还有那个配音，我就没有特别想要去念它。 所以如果你们看不清楚的话，我可以复述。
I booked the retreat again the next year. I thought he was such an interesting bloke, still waters, you know. And one evening after class, I followed him down to the beach. I saw him throw something into the water and went to have a look. Picked it out of the shallows before it was washed away. It was his medal. I picked it up. I went back to Goa the following year, but Pete wasn't teaching and it just wasn't the same. Not as good. Then, a couple of years later, I saw an online ad for his new retreat in a lighthouse. I booked immediately. I took the medal with me. Perhaps he would want it back. It was the same Pete Noach, and if anything, he was an even better teacher. One coffee break, when I got him on his own, I brought up Helmand in conversation. I wish I hadn't. It was like a shutter coming down. I didn't mention the medal.
提到荷尔曼的，我真希望我没说到这些，他立刻就缄口不言。那还不是很想被
I
提
kept
到那
coming
件
back
事
to the
情。
yoga. And you know, over the years I saw Pete mellow. I think the lighthouse was doing him good. He even cracked a joke with the group once in a while. So, that summer, the one before he died, I decided to act. It was the day I was leaving and I showed him his medal. There was a moment of total surprise. I was worried then. But he took it.
我觉得可能是这个因为这个
The poor guy was lost
看
for
起来他
words.
很
He gave me a nod of thanks and slipped it into his
他
pocket.
很重视。
I'm glad he got it back.
在我离开那，因为他这边提到嘛，在我离开那一天，我给他看到他的奖章，他那时惊呆了，我吓得够呛。不过他还是拿着我的奖章在手上翻来覆去的看，他翻来覆去就代表说他在确认那个是不是他的吧，然后是不是他印象中的那个东西，对不对？他对我点头表示感谢。完了，这原本的形状到底长什么样子？我的妈呀！ 来看吗？不像啊。那这个有点难，这个有点难。有点难，等一下。 安青石啦！哦，有了，有收，这个才是正确的。啊，不是。 还要再一点，还不够吗？有了，终于，这好难哎，转超多次。
Oh, Pete, I had no idea.
还有一个，有了，怎么会是鸟？ 这怎么念？如此时代啦，在灯塔上筑巢。第5个怎么会是鸟？这眼睛看起来好强，我的妈呀
I was getting ready to lay my egg. but my nest needed that little something extra. I found the perfect thing. The human and that metal beast seemed quite agitated at their loss.
I always hated those blooming things.
我真的很不喜欢那种一块成块的东西。好，所以我现在要 ，What's this？ 都是鸟哦。我做等羽毛。这就是那个东西，那个拼块的吧。
Dogs are actually very good at solving these. They're just hard for us to turn.
不是这个，我也知道不是这个，我只是点一下。我认为是奖章啦，只是不知道奖章在哪里。在这里。果酱三明治，空的。杯子，不太可能吧？这里没东西。
Okay, let's find some more memories.
我们找更多一点的记忆吧。多一个人了。嗨，你好，菲欧娜桑比。哎。哦，有了。就是这个，我认为是这个。从任何它的那个剧情来看呢、我觉得这个的可能是最大的。
This is a conspicuous gallantry cross. They don't give those to just anybody.
如果不是这个的话，那会是植物吗？不对，哎，我觉得这个最有可能哎，居然不对。这个是哪一个？好多植物。哦，等妈妈咪呀，这是哪一个？这个吗？啊，不是这个。哎，不能点。它有一个，啊，这个吧。它有一个蝴蝶结，结果连这个也不是，然后我就笑死了，猜错第二次。
Ugh. Dogs hate all fruit. I'm not going near this, Morris.
因为不是第5个，它是固定第5个吗？我觉得最下面那个是最不可能的耶！别闹了。
Hey, I'm starting to pick up the scent of something else here. I think it's Grenkins.
Grenkins?
Yeah, they're tiny spirits, distant relations of the island spirit. Apparently they bring good luck. When we get close to one, I'll pop up and let you know.
Okay,
Pop
Sparky.
up 是什么东西？椰子。嗨，你好。不是。不是。不是。
Okay, we're in the right place. But now we need to slice and rotate this object to just the right spot to get the Grenken out.
啊？什么意思？看到了。 我看到你了，旺旺。什么东西？很旧吧？那个是。
Hello, Grenken. Good to see you. Morris, these spirits have been on Shelmerston for thousands of years, and they bring good luck. We should definitely keep finding them.
它这个解谜不是那种，不是那种有很多谜题要去解的那种谜题，它是比较类似是找东西的那种解谜，就是因为解谜有不同类型的嘛，它是这种类型的。还有啊。 What is the play?
Guy.
Hello, ready for some fun?
Oh, hello.
I'm Mr. Whitstable. Welcome to Mr. Whitstable's riddle game.
Morris, we don't have time for this. Let's get back to work.
Mr. Whitstable just wants you to enjoy yourself, solve my riddles, and achieve true happiness.
Oh, these do seem kind of fun.
Whatever, Morris.
Oh, Sparky. Okay, Mr. Whitstable, what do I have to do?
Hooray! Just select one of my fiendish riddles, then go
So
on to
tell
find
me,
the
he-
object it's referring to. Easy. Well, actually, they're really hard.
Ha! Oh, we got this. Come on, Sparky.
Mm.
找出这个物品，什么物品？什么意思？他说我找出长这个姿势的人是不是？我声音。 没有看到啊，我不太。
Mr. Whitstable is not impressed.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Whitstable. These riddles are really hard.
They are hard. Maybe unfair too. But hey, if you don't have what it takes to become a riddle master, Morris.
No, I'm sure I can figure them out, Mr. Whitstable.
Okay,
所以
Morris.
等一下，我根本连你在讲什么，
Have
你
to
到
go
底要我
back
找
and
什么东
choose
西，我都
which
不
riddle
知
you want
道
to。look for, and then think really hard about what the riddle could possibly be referring to.
Oh, will do. Oh, thanks, Mr. Whitstable. I won't let you down.
Morris!
等一下，他刚刚是说什么？长眠的罗宾是吗？他刚刚是叫我找这个是不是？长眠的罗宾什么意思？什么意思？ Hungry caterpillar。什么意思？啊，他就挂了。又有新的哦，那不是没有吗？所以代表说这边里面是不是也有可能会有？去看看。没有，他没反应。并没有。这个。这是什么？有哪一个长起来比较长起来是什么？看起来比较像是这个的东西的。有的。我就觉得看起来像电线。小精灵，所以我这里可以发现9个。哎，我不小心出去了，白痴。我来先死。完全想象不出来这是什么东西耶。他没有反应，所以不在这里。没有反应，感觉就有可能在柜子里啊。按错了。居然是这个！我知道怎么。还要这样子哦？奇怪，这心脏很奇怪，原来是要拆一半。还是什么？哦，这个吗？对不对？那要怎么？我要怎么拆它？有了。然后 精灵。再来是那个，点点，这点点是什么东西？哦哦，我知道了，这是那个杯子那个对不对？我突然想起来，我刚刚有看到杯子蛋糕，好像就是这个形状。好，再来是找。哦，不球在这里吧？大概在这里。对了。
I wonder how many golf balls are in the sea around this lighthouse.
真的还真的是最后一个，我的，我觉得那个是最不可能的耶。哦的妈妈咪呀！这是什么？我的妈呀！这又是什么？完全没想法哎。不行哎，我真的完全没想法，这是什么？不对，还是这个。没有，它没反应。有洞的石头。拿走。画不行。高空机。没反应。木鸡。没反应。嗯，有反应。我连我怎么解出来我都不知道，我的妈呀！连我自己怎么解出来我都不知道。这是什么东西？我真的觉得它的那个形状看起来都超级奇怪的，我的天哪！没有反应。没反应。这会是什么？综合蔬菜馅饼。这会是什么？真的是没有想法，我的天哪！哟，它只有一只眼睛呢，恶心。这个。 卡，很卡吗？刚刚不是调的不会卡的吗？卡关了，卡白痴哦！啊，真的没想法没。可是我是在找那个支线的东西卡关了，不是在找不是在找原本，不是在找这个卡关。没反应。上面那个没反应。这个是什么啊？牛奶吗？哎，是。有了。他脑胃长哎，根本就不知道他们在怎么搞的。我先不找这个好了，因为我不知道它是会不会有可能。哎，有了，这什么灯泡？看起来有点像灯泡吧？这个是这个东西，灯泡。因为会有这个像灯泡一样的东西啊，可是为什么有一只的话看起来又像这个啊？是哦。要怎么？这形状要怎么搞？它是这个角度。我根本就是他帮我调整的，白痴。马上这一个。这是什么？这个吗？哎，来，不是这个，不是这个。鞋子，我看懂了，那鞋子。这是什么东西啊？罗盘、地图，哇塞！皮特的鞋子，为什么会在这里啊？
Oh, what a nice little fella.
啊
I'm glad we found him.
都不是。
Okay, that's all of the mementos. Now what do we have to do?
哦，不是，他是全部都要找到白痴。
Well done. I should easily be able to sniff out Peter's spirit now.
那是全部都要找到啊！好奇怪啊！我想说不可能啊，最下面那个我觉得是最不可能
Let me
的。
do my thing.
然后我觉得是那个徽章是最有可能的。公开 Sparky。
What in the world?
There's many things in the world you haven't seen, Morris.
Those things,
Yep. I mean, yep. Those are all of Pete's fragments. I just need to round them up.
Well, go get them, girl.
Whoa, whoa.我操！我要怎么调整它的方向？哦，懂了。看起来有点恶心。嘿，你好。
Oh, wow. It's really you. Well, it's me, Morris. Morris Lupton.
Of course I remember you, Morris. It's lovely to see you. How's death treating you?
Oh, well, you know, it's a bit jarring, but... Well, I'm having a nice enough time. But listen, Pete, we've come to ask you something. Do you know about the custodian?
The custodian? The person who communes with the island, yes? I've noticed the volcano looks like it's waking up.
Yes, well, that's the thing. We need a new one.
Oh, me? To be the custodian? Oh, Morris, I'm flattered, but I don't think I'm the one for this job. I spent my whole life and my whole afterlife trying to find peace. And lately, I think I found it. I'm satisfied with how things turned out. I'm finally ready to go into the West. I don't want to stay around any longer.
Ah, well, fair enough.
Would you want to come with me? I would be grateful for the company.
Well, that's kind of you, but I do really need to help find a new custodian. Maybe afterwards.
I understand. Well, best of luck with the search then. I'm sure you'll find someone perfect for it.
第一位拒绝了，应该要找到最后一位为止吧？我按照他的尿性。
Well, that didn't go well.
哇，你好绿哦。
No worries, Morris. Plenty of other prospects. Well, 4.
Hey, Pete mentioned going into the West. What is that?
Oh, well, that's a very complicated question, Morris. Just think of it as leaving all this behind, which is not something we can do now. We need to go find Val. They're opening the sculpture park today.
Oh, is that opening already? Time certainly does move a bit quicker once you're not in the world. Talking to people, it all feels so distant. Though, if I'm being honest, I suppose I was a little buried in the museum those last few years after... Well, you know... Ha! You know, you might say I started living like a ghost well before I became one.
Oh, you weren't a ghost, Morris. That museum is full of life, and ghosts can't give belly rubs anywhere near as well as you did, trust me. Now let's get going. We're gonna find Val.
Ah, yes, Val. I do feel a bit sorry for her, having her home invaded by all these silly artists.
Maybe. But at least we have a laird who's interested in doing nice things for Shelmerston.
Yeah, I suppose so. I was never sure about letting all those artists stay on Shelmerston, but I must admit that his heart's in the right place. Well, let's find Val then. After you, Sparky.
Are you Sparky?有剧情的找东西游戏。Oh my gosh! What the?
My,
看起来超级乱。
I barely recognize it anymore with all these artists buzzing about.
Oh, they're not so bad. So many different and exciting smells.
Yes, well, you and I have always valued different things in smells.
And now we need to sniff out Val. Just like before, let's find some people with memories of her and track down those mementos.
啊，看起来超级乱哦。瓦莱丽是谢尔莫斯顿地主亨利·奥塔兰姆的女儿。她的母亲在她小时候就过世了，她一直很独立，常常在谢尔莫斯顿会堂的土地上闲逛，探索这座岛屿。90年代初期，她的父亲将谢尔莫斯顿会堂改成艺术家聚会的地方。 近年来则开放土地当做雕塑公园，嘿，不是光源，刚刚说错了。好，来找一下哦。哎，这是动物吗？我看到动物身上有泡泡了。狐狸奥斯特。
Gloves! I love them. I can't get enough gloves.
手套耶，我喜欢手套，再怎么多都不够。
I stole a farmer's glove. I stole the fisherman's glove.
等一下，它这个线条是不是代表说那个手套很臭？
I saw that girl out in my woods, riding that strange bumpy beast around again. She really seemed to love that awful creature. This was an opportunity I wasn't going to miss. Lovely gloves.
可爱的手套。
I always did suspect there might be something in those rumors about camels on the island. All that time, and Val never let on. Bless you, Val.
这第二个哦，一共有4个回忆。它这是左右不是上下的。哎，我看到泡泡了。 哦，原来如此。按错了，这是你。米米博尔贡奇。
In the last summer, before our GCSEs, Val and me spent a lot of time together. Usually wondering how we could get our hands on something to drink. No one on this stupid little island would serve us, though. One day, we were hanging around on the allotments near the quay when we spotted something.
Oh.
And so, later that night, we went into the woods behind Val's house to drink it, sitting on top of that ancient stone that they say protects the island. But there was no way we were going to get through it all, so we decided to bury the rest. A few weeks later, we went to dig it up again, but couldn't remember where we dug the hole.
There is so much of our history buried on this island. Stories everywhere, right under your feet.
好，跺跺脚就会涌现出来。有这么浮夸吗？没有前后。应该说前后就是飘上飘下的感觉而已。哎，有了，找到了。朝圣是怎么回事？我爱你的父亲。哦天哪，白发人送黑发人呢。
After my wife Penny's death, I struggled to find ways to spend time with my daughter. It had hit us both hard, but, you know, stiff upper lip and all that. I always found it best to keep busy. Looking for something we could do together, I bought Valerie a set of paints. But she never even opened them. I was cross at first, but asked myself, what would Penny do? So I decided to let it go.
Let it go. Let it go.
Then one day I managed to talk her into coming into the park with me to paint some of the nature she loves so much. She wasn't very enthusiastic, but agreed to give it a try. It was a disaster. Valerie simply didn't have the temperament for painting. She had a huge, silly tantrum and threw all the paints away.
Cool. Oh, 在这里。
I told her I wasn't having this kind of childish behavior, and I told her to stay in her room until she had calmed down. I wished Penny was still with us. She would have known what to do with the child.
Oh my god. 偷溜出来。
Very hard that, to lose a parent. Was never going to be easy after her mum died, but he always did seem distracted with his fancy art projects.
哦，还有一个不知道是什么。哎，我绕一圈了。哑巴。很晕，我的妈呀！那看起来应该是没有泡泡的吧？哦，有了，看到了，就是你。
I spent the summer of '83 with Henry Outram, Laird of Shelmerston, in his grand hall working on a new piece. It was supposed to be about the volcano, but once I arrived, I found myself particularly taken by all the veils around the island.
我刚刚在想说这什么
Henry
图，
was a
原
delightful
来是这个
host, always excited to have us bright young artists around, and always ready with a charming question or a fortifying glass of something. His daughter, I think her name was Mallory or Valerie or something, was usually outside roaming the grounds. Henry said she was discovering herself and learning self-reliance through independent play. She seemed feral to me. One day, I came across the perfect finishing touch to my sculptural masterpiece, but it turned out to belong to the wretched child. I tried to explain to her why I needed it, but she snatched it away and walked off.
眼睛之笔。这是什么东西啊？
I went to Henry, thinking he could make her give me the boat. But to my astonishment, Henry told me it was up to her if she wanted to give it to me. Henry called his daughter and we all talked about it. When Henry suggested that maybe I could buy the boat, her little eyes lit up. It cost me £200 for that little wooden boat. But, well, it was worth it.
200英镑哦，那个镑应该是英镑的意思吧？好扯哦！到小船。
Henry was a good dad at heart, caring about Val's feelings, and treating her like a grown-up even when she was little. Partly how she became so independent, I reckon. I know it was tough on him, but they both turned out pretty well.
哦，我现在来找回忆了。不会是蛋？这只不可以，不能够那个往前进去，好像也适合。啊
I spent the summer of '83 with him.
拍谢，我按到你了。眼睛之笔。 不是，那这里的那个岛之精灵在哪里啊？他没有跳那个提示给我哎。
I wonder how many people even saw this.
到底有多少人有发现这个东西？
I'm getting the scent of Grenkins again, Morris.
哦，所以它才跳出
I'll
来。
pop up to let you know when we're close to one.
我还是直接点进去看看好了。关，旺旺。What's this？ 哦哦哦，这个对不对？对。 我要怎么让那个球变成这个样子？我的天哪！这样子对不对？哦，应该是这样子。哦。啊，走！哇！这样了吧？不像吗？我应该是要看那个蓝色的光的部分，不像吗？我就像啊，应该我觉得没有用。啊，不像吗？有像了吧？你看，单单看那个蓝光部分是像的吧？为什么？Oh my god！ 它是偏左的，偏左。这是平面的，它这个平面吗？为什么？我觉得很像了啊！为什么？我不懂。为什么这样子他跳的反而比较缓？我这样子，这个角度反而跳得比较缓。屁嘞！ 我那个明明就比较像，烂东西。它明明里面是甜心的，这个明明是空心的，你那边搞事。矮树丛。 没有了，这里没了。Just this？ 应该是这个吧，那张。有了，哦，这个比较没有那么难了。刚刚那个真的是找的快挂了，真的是找的快挂了，天哪！还有没有精灵啊？没有，按错了，按错了。 哎，居然不是这个吗？水泥凤梨，哎，呀，角度不对，有了。叮。 朝圣，还有吗？没有了。哎，他父亲在这
After my wife Penny's death, I struggled.
他父亲在这里，那东西应该会在这里哦。这里会有那个调色盘，看一下那个凤梨里面有没有东西。 调色盘，包包。哇，这是什么里面？那里面那个什么东西啊？我的天哪！树桩。 なんだこれは？哎，好可爱哦！我的天哪！怎么可以这么的可爱？海蒂的弟弟。 应该在这里哦。博物馆徽章，水晶洞，居然不在这里。 哎，白痴哦！白痴，这个就要在这里。
Yeah, painting re.
哎，这怎么突然冒出一个问号？ 会有一个未知的记忆，是不是？未知的记忆。噔噔噔噔噔。这是什么东西？不太像。我又听到了。Lucky Rabbit's Run， 没有，完全没有想要理你的意思，我不知道那是什么。白痴哦！你挡到我那个哇，我看不到哦，这是什么生物？我的天哪，这是兔子吧？然后它，哎，莫名解到了是什么意思
Yes, you solved it.
I did! Oh, that was fun!
Solve more, solve more, solve more!
Solve more!
Okay, Mr. Whitstable, I'll try.
Oh, for goodness sake, Morris, we just don't have time for this right now.
Happy riddle hunting, riddle friends.
Great.
Great. 可怜呐！啊，杀手勋章。我觉得有机会是这个啦。不行，他没有办法再继续前进了，所以不会是这个。那会是哪一个啊？看起来好像宇宙。嗯，有反应哦。他这个角度跳的最欢呢。哦，哦，原来是要直着，不是横着。那我说我横着怎么搞都不行啊？衣服的鞋子，没别的东西了。瓦莱利欧塔兰姆的长椅，狐狸眼衣，这里就是那个手套了。这什么？What is this？ 有反应哦。这样吗？它横哦。 棒，5个了。我觉得找那个导致精灵比找那个回忆还要难多了。啊，不对，不是要点你哭啊
Close.
在这里，为什么不在这里面呢？确实不在。哦，那应该在这里哦。美容手套。
Hey, Morris. I bet you wish you were alive so you could rub me with this glove.
居然吗？好可爱哟，小狐狸。妇女儿童。不是这个。不是这个。这奇怪的形状到底是什么东西？没有反应。没有反应。没有反应。这是什么啊？怎么又来一个我看不懂的东西？我原本以为是这个，可是后来我点了它，还没反应。对啊，哎。哦，有了。有了。宝之精灵，兔子哎，变好了，不知道。这什么奇怪的形状啊？ 突然又不抖了，白痴。干嘛有时抖，有时不抖？我的天哪！有了，空间条边，好长哦，这只是它的脚。OK， 这是什么来着？我看到只能够是这个啊。好简单呢，这个一下子就找到了。按错。哎，这个东西在这里哦，待会记着。先去把所有的岛精灵弄完了。What's this？哎，你好，画眉鸟，什么东西？为什么可以拉进来？有一只鸟，哎，知更鸟。不知道为什么，我觉得这游戏里面啊，它的那个动物啊，看起来都蛮强的表情。它能够一个一个拉开，会不会有可能这个是这个问号啊？我就是因为觉得有可能是那个问号，所以我才一个一个慢慢去拉的。What's this？ 哇，好大一颗蛋哦！我好像绕一圈了，看上面的。没有，又是蛋，很多蛋，我爱吃蛋。哎，不对，哎，不对，不行耶，没有看到。这里不对，有，这有反应哦。成功，这也不难。Yeah， 最后一个。骆驼。问号在这里哦。哦，有一个人跑出来了。哎，不对，不是有一个人跑出来，是他又跑出那个泡泡咯。
The famous sculptor Vernon Russet was working on a huge statement piece in my honor, a statue of a camel with my head. When I saw it, I felt quite uncomfortable, but I didn't want to upset him. Poor Vernon could be awfully temperamental. sinking into dark moods for days. The week before the public unveiling, Vernon had me visit the statue. He needed to make some final adjustments to the face. Valerie came along too. She looked like thunder. She hated that statue and wasn't afraid to show it. I couldn't help thinking how like her mother she was. When the statue was revealed, the nose was missing. Fortunately, we all managed to cover our surprise and act like nothing was wrong, so no one was any the wiser. Some fellow from the Times wrote a glowing review, so Vernon wasn't too glum about it. I'm pretty sure I know what happened to that nose.
飘走了。
Aha, the old Outram spirit. Good for you, Valerie. Your mother would have been proud of you.
Yeah, Val told me about this. She had a whole speech prepared in case they figured out it was her who cut that nose off. But she never even needed it.
杯子，哎，这里没有那个吗？哦，我再给一次看看，真的没有哎。异族的棺材。 有可能会在哪里呢？放东西的好地方。太多层了吧！真的是藏东西好地方，超级多层呢，还有鼻孔哎，要笑死！
Oh, this thing looks heavy. I'm surprised Val was able to even lift it.
出去！出去！出去！出去！我还要出去超级多层呢！我的天哪！诶，这里没有，那就是这里喽。诶，不对啊，我回来了。可是他这里没有望耶。 哦，有了，应该是蓝紫哦，这样吧。这是蛋黄，居然是蛋黄，我好意外。这个居然只有漩涡的那个身体而已。 好，你去找那个什么东西吧。哎，就是这里。有可能，不对，应该不会在同一个地方哦，所以。这是什么？我忘记了耶。 这看得到吗？ 哦，有了灌木丛。迷你的秘密储物箱。啊。
Wow, Morris, this smells incredible. I'm getting scallops, I'm getting peaty bogs, I'm getting roast lamb. Woof!
Woof 是怎样？
We did it! Oh, yes! I know what Val smells like now. Her signal is wafting through to me very clearly. Time to fly.
Time to fly. 长案子，知道。哦，我可以上下哦，原来。 哦，好白！我的天哪，看不太清楚哎。乱叫一通。好白耶，真的好白耶！好完了，我根本就是乱叫一通而已，超级白。哎，等等，听起来真的在骂脏话，他那个真的是太白了，我看不太清楚他那到底是什么。哎，你好，你看起来好像小孩子。
Morris Lopton? Is that really you? And Sparky?
Val! Oh, it's so good to see you again.
You too. You're looking very,
Yeah, dead?
yeah. But quite good, considering.
Hello, Val.
And Sparky talks now. Death certainly has been strange. What brings you by?
Well, we're trying to find a replacement custodian. You've surely seen the volcano.
Oh, yes. Poor Aggie. Must be very tired.
Aggie?
Aggie is the current custodian.
Oh, well then, yes. We were hoping you might replace Aggie.
Oh, Morris. That's some ask.
Oh, you can do it, Val.
I'm flattered, but those are enormous shoes to fill. And I'm not like you, Morris. I don't love this town like you do. And if I'm being honest, I can't abide all those arty types and mainlanders tromping around. I can't speak for them. This job isn't for me.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that, Val. But, well, I understand.
Thank you. It's been so nice to see you again.
You too, Val. Sparky, I'd love to spend some more time chatting with Val.
Oh, I'm sorry, Morris. We really need to keep this search up. That volcano is looking dire.
Come back later, Morris. I'll be here.
Oh, well, all right, Val. I'll find you later.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh, slow down, Sparky.
变蓝了。
I need to get some things straight.
No time, Morris. We need to find the next prospect.
Well, it's just that I don't quite understand what we're doing.
We're looking for the custodian.
Well, I get that bit, Sparky, but what does the custodian have to do exactly?
Oh, well, it's hard to explain with your human words, but, the custodian kind of mingles with the island. becomes a part of it.
A part of the rock, the volcano.
Yes, the rock, and the sea, and the animals, and plants. The custodian becomes a part of all of these things. It becomes part of the island spirit.
And you give up being a ghost?
Yeah, well, a walking around talking kind of ghost. Stop being someone who can go into the West. It's quite a sacrifice.
Oh, wow. Well, no wonder Val doesn't want to fill those shoes. Aggie must be a legend.
Ah, she really is.
I always thought there are those folks destined to be mayors and, I suppose, custodians. And then there are people like me and Val, destined for smaller lives.
Oh, what? Small? Morris, your heart is as big as the island. Everyone knows that.
I suppose I'm more like one of those island oddities in the museum.
Yeah, and they were always the visitors' favorites. Now, we need to move on. Next up is Ogden Beckett, in the Old Town.
Ogden it is. I'm right behind you, Sparky.
我陷阱啊！不知道为什么我总觉得啊，看到后面的时候会觉得很感人，有一种感觉啊。隐隐有种这种感觉。
So, Ogden next, eh? I'll be glad to see him again.
His music always hurt my ears, but he was good at chin scratchers. Oh, lovely guy. Oh, look, the ferry's coming in. There'll be loads of tourists all over this quayside soon.
Well, I suppose they won't get in our way much anymore, eh, girl?
奥格登是为就在想什么？刚刚那个声音，那发音听起来有点不太对。奥格登是位才华洋溢的器乐家，精通多种乐器，他也是谢尔莫斯顿白银乐团团长和出色的板球运动员。他年轻时住在纽西兰，后来返国与他的青梅竹马恋人莎莉梅普斯结婚，是不是母培？不是，各种那个什么嘎罗西。啊。这可以进去吗？不行。我看到2个，我先走这个。
I remember when a young Ogden asked to join the Shelmerston Silver Band. I recognized his talent immediately.
He could play anything, that lad. Literally anything.
Eventually he settled on the sousaphone, which he always insisted on playing with his lucky bronze mouthpiece. One evening after the Silver Band played a storming concert in the Camel, Ogden and Sally got it into their heads to go for a night swim in the harbour, young overnight. Ogden left his mouthpiece behind, and when we came back the next morning to pack up, it had disappeared. It really rattled him. Ogden was worried he wouldn't be able to perform without it, but of course, next time we played, he was just as good as ever. Didn't need any lucky mouthpiece, our Ogden.
He could play anything, that lad. Ogden was so talented, a real virtuoso. Oh, I loved listening to him play.
Oh, speak for yourself, Morris. It was a terrible racket.
好死狗了，这个翻译我觉得很好笑。来，轮到你。板球队队长。
It was the day of the island cricket match out on the volcanic sand spit. We had lost to Appledore for the past 3 years, and it was my first year as captain. I didn't want another loss on my watch. Ogden had just come back from New Zealand and told me he'd be up for it. I wasn't sure. I remembered Ogden from school. He was lanky and good in the field, but batting... not sure.
Not sure.
Ogden showed up with his own bat. He told me he'd won it in a pub in Dunedin and that it had belonged to a famous New Zealand player. I wondered whether I should put him into bat at all, but Ogden whispered to me that he'd been playing on deck all the way home. I knew Ogden wasn't a bluffer, but he was never the guy who got picked for the first team at school. Still, I had nothing to lose. Ogden hit a 6 with his first stroke. We went wild! And just when I thought it must be a fluke, he hit another! And another! He was a machine! Ogden hit so many cricket balls out into the sea that we had to stop play. We'd run out. It was a stunning win, and we carried Ogden back across the sand and into the Camel. Even though he'd won the match pretty much single-handedly, he insisted it was all down to the bat and plenty of practice. Ogden was solid gold.
How's that?
水岭是什么东西？
Great
水
day
里
that
的。
was. And we've beaten Appledore every year since. Those poor chaps never did recover from Ogden's incredible batting.
为什么长这个样子啊？嗨，你好，小弟弟。也许该让他摔一次。没有。没有。哎，这里没有了。 这里是往左，这边往前走。哎，我看到了，奥格登的寡妇，他的妻子。
We were 14 when we started going out. Me and my friend Cassia had started a beach clean at the weekend, and Ogden turned up with his mate Godfrey. I had no idea Ogden liked me. He was the tallest in our year, and we all fancied him. By the time we reached the little cove at the north end of the beach, he'd asked me to come to a concert he was playing in. I said yes. We'd been going out for a few years when I applied to Floristry College on the mainland. I didn't tell Ogden. I didn't believe I'd get in, and didn't want him to think I was trying to get away from him. Ogden might have looked mature and confident, but he was a gentle soul, not nearly as sure of himself as he looked. But I did get in, and he was gutted. I felt terrible. I didn't want to hurt Ogden. He said he didn't mind, but I could see he was covering. My last week on Shelmerston was really hard. Every time I saw him, it felt so strained, and I couldn't sleep.
哇，感觉这一段就是他们差点分手哎。
Finally, on my last night, I made a decision. I would take an apprenticeship at the garden centre on the island instead, so we could stay together. It felt like the right thing to do. I would tell Ogden in the morning. But when I opened the door the next day, I found Ogden's sousaphone left on the doorstep. I was terrified. What did it mean? What had he done? I ran down to his house, my heart in my mouth. His mum, she never did like me, was a little bit smug. She told me Ogden had sailed off to New Zealand. He was headed to Christchurch, she said, and didn't know when he was coming back. Then she shut the door. I was more than a bit tearful, but, you know, looking back, I think we both needed to have a bit of an adventure.
I spent a lot of time with Sally during this period. We used to meet up quite often when she returned from Floristry College, and I was working at the museum. For a while, I thought maybe we would get together. But she always seemed a bit out of reach, sort of distracted. Well, it makes sense now.
奥格登贝克特的遗孀。什么意思？等下，我不懂什么意思。奥格登的童年好友。
I remember we was walking home from school, a bunch of us, and I told him my granddad said the lad had a live Bactrian camel living somewhere in the woods.
为什么刚刚听起来很像是那个莎莉亚是我们主角的妻子？
Someone would have seen it.
然后听起来很什么？我不懂，我真的不懂，听着有点懵。
Sneaking past the big house, we were almost caught by the gamekeeper and had to run, hell for leather, for the woods. We reached the trees, out of breath. I was bent double and leant against a tree. Ogden had better breath control and he recovered quickly. He saw it first. The clouds parted, the moon shone down, and Ogden gasped, and then I did too. Was it? It was. The next day, we were kicking ourselves. We had no proof. No one was going to believe us. But we knew what we saw.
但我刚刚真的有听到声音，可是为什么不行？ 我的，怎么突然没有那么清楚？感觉就像是10 FPS 突然变60 FPS。我不懂，我什么都不懂，我就真的不懂。
No one believed them. We gave them so much stick.
没有人会相信他们的。 所有的记忆都找到，不，所有的那个对话都看到了。啊。